The story begins at a camp in Siberia where hundreds of German people were held captive. There were no guards for security, yet no one dared to escape from there. The truth was, even if someone did escape, they wouldn't survive for more than a few days in the bone-chilling cold of the Arctic Circle. But there was one soldier who wanted to somehow escape and return to his wife and daughter. His name was Clemens Farrell, and one day he finally got a chance to escape. At night, he quietly got into a coal car, and when the train started moving, he was overjoyed to see the star-filled sky. But suddenly the train stopped in the middle of nowhere. Clemens secretly got out to check, but then a Soviet soldier saw him, and he was imprisoned in a pigsty. A heavy rain started, but despite this, Clemens stayed there for 3 days without eating or drinking. After that, the prison warden released him and said that his companions were waiting for him. When Clemens finally reached the tunnel, he saw that his companions were very angry and were waiting for him with weapons in their hands. The truth was, because of Clemens's escape, all of them were kept hungry for 3 days. Then suddenly they attacked Clemens and beat him like a dog. Due to his severe injuries, he was taken to the camp doctor. That doctor was also a prisoner here, and he was quite impressed by Clemens' courage to escape. Then Clemens told the doctor that it was impossible to escape from the Arctic Circle. Everyone who had tried to escape until now had died. But the doctor told him a secret, that those who do not escape from here will also die in the end. The truth was that all the prisoners present there used to dig in the lead metal mines every day, and the lead was slowly getting into their bodies through the air, due to which it was certain that all of them would die sooner or later. That's why the doctor advised him that he should try his luck by escaping. Then the doctor took out all his warm clothes and shoes and told Clemens that food was hidden in various places on the railway lines. On top of that, he also gave Clemens a gun. The truth was that the doctor had made all these preparations to escape himself. But a month ago, he found out that he had cancer, and even if he escaped, he wouldn't live for more than a month. Anyway, the doctor gave Clemens his lunchbox and said that if you succeed, give the news of my death to my family. After this, Clemens escaped once again at night. The next morning, the warden got the news that Clemens had escaped, so he came to question the doctor, but by then, the doctor had sacrificed his life. On the other hand, Clemens was moving forward with great enthusiasm, facing the snow and strong winds. Here the warden sent many soldiers to find Clemens, but even after searching for many days, they could not find any trace of Clemens. Everyone thought that he must have frozen to death in the snow, but the warden was sure that he was alive, so he ordered the search to continue. 9 days after escaping, Clemens suddenly saw a sledge running behind him. Clemens also started running immediately, but the sledge soon reached him and ran him over. Suddenly Clemens' eyes opened, and he saw that he was perfectly fine. Actually, this whole incident was a delusion of his mind. A white sheet of snow was all around him, and the food was also finished. His heart sank, and he asked God to perform a miracle. But in the Arctic Circle, there was nothing but snow for miles. Now he had no other option, so he somehow kept moving forward for a few days. Finally, his body gave up, and he fainted due to hunger. After some time, his eyes opened, and he heard a strange sound. Then his eyes fell on a seal, and his eyes lit up. He immediately took out his gun, and with trembling hands he fired at the seal, but unfortunately, none of his shots hit the target. The seal started to run, so Clemens ran after it, but suddenly it went into the icy water. Anyway, without thinking much, he fired a shot, and finally succeeded in killing the seal. After eating the food, he bandaged his feet to get some relief from the cold. After some rest, Clemens set out on his journey again. In his loneliness and this long journey, his mental balance could easily get disturbed, so he kept talking to himself. Also, after walking for a while, he would check his direction with a compass so that he wouldn't get lost here. In this way, after walking for many days, he saw a tree in the middle of the snow. Seeing it, Clemens went crazy with happiness and ran and hugged the tree. The truth was, this tree meant that after walking continuously for 2 months, he had finally come out of the Arctic Circle. On the other hand, the prison warden still did not give up and ordered a search of a 500-kilometer area. On the other hand, Clemens had reached the forest, but suddenly a snowstorm started there. This storm was so terrible that even big trees were uprooted and fell down. As soon as Clemens got up, a big tree suddenly fell on him. Luckily, 2 men named Sam John and Matten, who had come there in search of gold, saved Clemens's life, and then the 3 of them moved forward together. Gradually, the weather started to get better, and the 3 of them decided to build a raft with a makeshift to cross the river. The 3 of them told each other their life stories, but in a little while, the flow of the river became very fast, due to which Clemens and Matten could not handle the raft. Suddenly, Sam John lost his balance and fell into the river. Sam John was about to drown, but Clemens, without caring about his own life, immediately dived into the river. After a lot of difficulties, he managed to bring Sam John to the shore. On the other hand, Matten left them in the middle and went ahead alone. When he reached his hut, he thought that Sam John must have died in the river, so he stole Sam John's gold and other valuable things. But in a few moments, Sam John and Clemens also arrived there. Sam John was very angry at Matten's betrayal, so he shot and killed Matten. After this, Sam John and Clemens packed their bags and set off on a journey once again. Well, the winter season soon began, and it became even more difficult to move forward. Then Clemens tried to reduce Sam John's burden by taking his bag, but Sam John thought that Clemens wanted to steal his gold, so he attacked Clemens with his bag. Because of this, Clemens fainted, and when his eyes opened, he saw that a pack of wolves was running towards him. Clemens started running, but the hungry wolves were pulling him down from his pants. After a lot of attempts, the small tree fell down, and now Clemens's death was standing in front of him. Then suddenly there was a loud sound of gunshots, in which all the wolves were killed. The truth was that the shepherds of this area had saved Clemens's life. They picked up Clemens and took him to their village, where many shepherds treated him. With their help, Clemens's body soon became completely fine, and he was very happy to meet people after so long. He became friends with many shepherds, but soon a notice sent by the prison warden also reached there, according to which anyone who gives shelter to Clemens will lose their life. So Clemens was forced to leave from there. Before leaving, the shepherds gave him a lot of food and a hunting dog as a gift. Now, he also had a companion on this journey back home, so Clemens did not feel lonely. In this way, both of them kept moving forward for about 1 year. One day, they reached a sawmill where Clemens' dog ran in search of food, but some employees chased him away. Then Clemens came forward, and the employees recognized him, and then the owner of the mill fed him. After this, they made Clemens sit on a train to Germany. Now he was going to reach home soon, so there was a big smile on Clemens' face. But he did not know that the owner of the mill had given the news of him to the police, and the prison warden was waiting for him at the train station with his soldiers. Luckily, Clemens had already seen the soldiers at the station, so he seized the opportunity and escaped. But in a few moments, the prison warden caught him red-handed. Now all of Clemens' hopes were gone, but suddenly Clemens' hunting dog attacked the warden and bit him badly. Thanks to his dog's loyalty, Clemens got another chance to escape. But then he heard the sound of gunshots, and he understood that the warden had killed his dog. But Clemens could not even mourn his death and kept running. Seizing the opportunity, he climbed a bridge and jumped onto a train passing underneath. Today, once again, he had a narrow escape. After this, he kept moving forward on his path. In this way, a lot of time passed, and the year 1952 came, when Clemens had neither a single penny nor a grain to eat. He was roaming in a fair, where his eyes fell on delicious food, but the shopkeeper chased him away. As he was walking, he came to a pancake stall, where 2 girls welcomed him, but he did not have money, so he got disappointed, and moved on himself. But a kind-hearted girl felt pity for him, and she broke a piece of pancake and gave it to Clemens through a child. At first, Clemens hesitated, but then he took the pancake and ate it. Well, then a Jewish man saw everything. On the other hand, Clemens, while walking, reached a church, and he folded his hands and prayed to God. The Jewish man also came here following him, but he did not hand Clemens over to the police. The truth was that he had also been a war prisoner some time ago, so he could understand Clemens' condition. He brought Clemens to his house, where Clemens took a bath and returned to his old form. The Jewish man also gave him a passport and some papers, which filled Clemens' heart. Finally, after taking the passport, Clemens crossed the Soviet border, and then after a little questioning, he was allowed to go. Clemens was now happy that he was finally going to meet his family, but he suddenly saw a reflection of himself and was shocked. And he looked back and saw that he was still on Soviet soil, which meant that the warden could still arrest him. Now Clemens' heart sank because his desire to be free after so many years of hard work was getting shattered. But suddenly he saw that the warden moved away from his path. Clemens could not believe his eyes, but he slowly moved forward. The truth was that Clemens' desire to live and his passion to reach here after a painful journey of 7 years had won the warden's heart. That's why the warden let Clemens go. But as a soldier, he had won, because today, if he wanted, he could have arrested Clemens and ended his game. Finally, Clemens crossed the border and reached his home, where his wife and daughter were leaving for the church. Clemens also went behind them, and his daughter recognized him in the church, and then she ran and hugged her father. In your opinion, did the warden do the right thing, or did he betray his country? Do tell me in the comments. See you in the next video.